gas prices. They are putting the pain back on your pocketbook again. They jumped another.
Hey everyone, a few things have happened that's gonna make this fuel crisis get even worse. And the fact of the matter is you need to do this now because the oil war is in full effect. Major events are now in full effect, stacking the deck against gas and oil. And economists are predicting the surging costs to go up and up and up. So whether it's propane, natural gas, oil, any type of fuel, you need to brace yourself for that cost to go up. Got some information for you today, why it's going up, the reasons behind this, a couple tips, and what you should do now before it's too late. The information you need to know coming right up. Welcome back to all the subs. If you're brand new here, like informative information that affects you, prepping tips, how-tos, emergency preparedness, be sure to hit that notification bell so you stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. So just over this last week, there has been some major changes that involve fuel and oil. Okay, so like I said, guys, things are about to ramp up. The prices of natural gas, propane, any type of fuel, oil is about to surge. And you need to brace yourself for that. And you need to know what to do now. Because the analysts and the economists are saying the price is about to go up even more. Even in our local area, at our gas pumps, we're up $1 just over the last few days. What's it look like in your guys' area? What are you paying for gas? And what are you paying for like any type of fuel that you use to heat your home? Let the community know in the comments below what you're paying and where you're from. As for us here in Central Washington, we're looking at about $5.15 is what I drove by on regular gas. And I noticed that our propane costs are about $3.75 a gallon. So what's going on? A lot has happened over the last week. We've got the big R country trying to annex certain regions of Ukraine. We've got the US coming out saying if this happens, which it is, we're gonna sanction you even more. And I can tell you what, guys, Europe is already under the sole of a boot right now with this whole fuel issue. And if they cut off even more fuel supplies, it's gonna get really, really bad. And on top of all that, you've got the explosions involving the pipelines. You got Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 already destroyed. And it's kind of crazy because on some news outlets, they're talking about leaks in the pipeline. And then most of us know that there was actually 4 explosions. We're talking about hundreds of feet down in the ocean, inside of concrete blocks, and it went through everything. That just doesn't naturally happen. And they're pointing fingers in all different directions. And you know what's gonna happen with that? It's gonna affect the fuel prices over in Europe, and that's gonna affect us. But seriously, pipelines getting blown up, some people are reporting that it's a sabotage. What do you guys think? So on top of that debacle, what happens when they finally pinpoint who they're gonna blame for this? Things are gonna heat up. And guys, it's already bad in Europe and UK. And with the Bank of England news in effect, this is gonna heavily affect the inflation over there. Mark my words, it's about to go from bad to worse over there real quick. So some are saying in general, a lot of our fuel supplies are under attack. I've got a report here that says 6 Norwegian gas platforms were buzzed around by unidentified drones. And we're talking about only 50 meters away in a restricted area. Some people are saying what's next is an oil war. It looks like there's more threats in effect with our already oil crisis. Like I said, we've already got an oil crisis, and going into winter, everyone's saying that this is the true dark winter. Is it planned? Is this whole thing planned? Is it part of the plan for there to be absolute chaos this winter?
It has left Europe horror-struck. They may not have the resources to deal with it, but they will be left scrambling for energy. This winter won't be like any other for the continent. It will be a cold and dark one as Europe battles an energy crisis. Across countries, offices are getting chillier. Historic buildings are going dark. Bakers can't afford to heat up their ovens, and people are stocking up on firewood. With high costs and tight supplies, Europe is rolling out relief programs.
Tell me if I'm right, but are people just completely complacent about what's going on right now? I am actually shocked at how many people are going on, living life like nothing's happening, and there's a lot happening. The fact of the matter that you need to be preparing for things to get much worse is huge, because it is obvious that the big R country is at war with NATO. A lot of people agree that they don't think that the big R country is messing around. And it's not a matter of whether you think NATO could take the big R country or the big R country's got something up their sleeve and they could take NATO. No matter what, if that goes down, we all get affected. I showed you in an earlier video that 1.2 million conscripts, reservists, have been called up in the big R country. It's getting serious. 1.2 million people, I can't even fathom that. And they're saying they're going to be bringing them to multiple fronts. And then I saw this news the other day. North Korea is going over to help the big R country in Ukraine. And then you got the China and North Korea thing going on. And then to stack the deck even more, you've got the Hurricane Ian that just blew through Florida, shutting down 11% of our oil supply coming from the Gulf. And we don't know when that's going to come back online because there's going to need to be inspections, make sure there's no leaks. So losing 11% of our production of oil coming out of the Gulf also is going to mess with the demand and drive the prices up. I've also got reports of Europe putting new sanctions on the big R country. And if that happens, they could just shut off all of Europe's oil supply completely, which I think is about 35% of their oil intake. And if Europe loses 35%, do you know the destruction that would cause? So like I said, what can you do today? Make sure all of your tanks are topped off. If you can afford it, go pick up a few extra tanks like I did. Pick up a couple extra gas cans. Those ones, those 5-gallon ones right there, I actually found for 25 bucks a piece, which are really good. Those are good 5-gallon tanks. So let's go fill these tanks up real quick. Okay guys, I just filled up all these tanks, 87 gallons, and I got them for 127 bucks. I'm gonna make an extra video special for all of our members showing you how to get half off your propane. I do have to say though, I feel like a traveling bomb. I've noticed that these propane tanks vary in price. You wanna shop around. We're talking about a big difference between some prices. And a lot of times you can find free tanks. In my case, I've got enough propane to get through the winter, easy. And it can be used to fuel a heat source, which we might need because they're already talking about blackouts. Many analysts are predicting a cold winter. As I said before, just in a few days, our regular gas prices have went up $1. And with everything going on, there is nothing out there that says that our prices are gonna go down. In fact, everything's pointing in the direction that our prices are gonna go even up a lot more. I mean, look at these news clips. They are definitely letting us know that these prices are gonna go up. They're gonna go up a lot more. And we're heading into winter, which means we might be using more fuel. And as I said, this could be very important for keeping you warm for when the power goes out. And for all of our members out there, watch for that video I'm gonna put out on how to get propane half off. Honest opinion, guys, we have a fuel crisis that's about to get a lot worse. So top off all your fuel. Be ready, because the feeling of being somewhat prepared is a lot better than the panic you'll feel when something bad happens. With that, I'll keep you guys posted. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you guys on the next one.